Hello everyone, welcome back to Olivia's Kitchen. Can you say hi, Gwen? Say hi! Today we're going to make a shepherd's pie. Right now I have some ground beef cooking on the stovetop and I'm cutting up a pepper. So if you guys want to go ahead and get started on that, and then I will be right back with you. Okay, like I was saying, we're making a shepherd's pie today. This is going to be a mashed potato free shepherd's pie, so if you don't like mashed potatoes, this is the one for you. If you do like mashed potatoes, then sorry I'm leaving them out, guys. But I do like my mashed potatoes on my shepherd's pie too. Just this recipe was just a regular crust for this one. So the ground beef is ready. I'm just letting it cool on the table out there. I've got my chicken broth. It's 2 cups. Heating up here since it's right now it's just water and some bouillon, so I'm making chicken broth right now. And now we're going to cook some peppers. So we're going to add some peppers to a saucepan here. Once you nice. Yeah. And it's 1 whole red peppers. Great. Alright, we're going to add a couple spoonsful of garlic, or 2 to 4 cloves. Should be good. And you could add mushrooms and onions if you want. It'd be like half an onion and like a can of mushrooms or a cup of mushrooms, depending on what kind of mushrooms you're using. Fresh mushrooms, canned mushrooms, use whatever you want. I'm going to sprinkle in some onion powder, because as we know, I never carry onions in this house. And we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. It's about 3 to 4 tablespoons. I'm just going to eyeball it. Alright, turn your oven up to medium-high, and, whew, man, that's bright. We'll let that sit for a bit. We'll see you in just a moment. Okay, the next step is a little tougher. Not tough, just a little tricky. So you need to scoop out all of your innards, peppers, onions, whatever you threw in there, with a slotted spoon. Leave as much oil and juice in there as you can. Then you're going to add a half stick of butter and about 4 tablespoons of flour. I'm going to add my butter first, actually. So we're going to put that over here. And I'm a little over half a stick. But you know what? Yeah. I'll add the rest of it then. It's only a tablespoon more, so yeah, no biggie. So you're going to go ahead and add that to your pan. Just let that melt. A nice sizzle going. If you were making your chicken broth, go ahead and turn off your stove now. It should be done. So go ahead and turn that off, because you're going to be adding it to this. Yeah. And that's going to take a little bit of time to melt, but I'm going to go ahead and let that melt, and then I'm going to add my flour, and I'll be with you on the next step. Okay, once you add your flour in, I would trade for a small whisk. It just mixes much easier. Get it all mixed in nicely. It should be bubbly. I have my heat on 2 right now. I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken broth, and as much as I can fit in the pan. Luckily, it was all 2 cups of it. Yay! Alright, and you're just going to keep mixing that until it's thick and bubbly, like chili almost thickness kind of deal. Just like you were making gravy. So we'll be back. Sorry about all this touch and go stuff. It's really bright right here, as you can tell. The sun's like right there in my face. And two, it just feels really unprofessional be over there at the stove and trying to talk to you and cook at the same time. And I want you guys to get a good experience with this and not of my back. And obviously the cute baby. So, I mean, that's a great experience. But me not facing you all the time, sorry about that, guys. But there will be a step coming up where I will actually be facing you. See, I told you I'd be facing you soon. Okay, so right now we're going to do a quick show and tell of what we're doing again. We've got our ground beef, got it all cooked up and ground. We've got our veggie mixture here. Here's my garlic and peppers and olive oil and onion powder, that's what it was. You can add real onions, add mushrooms, add whatever hearty feeling vegetable you want to add. They recommended onions and garlic and pepper. Okay, so then I also have the sauce that we made. As you can see, it's a nice, it's not too thick, but it looks thick when you stir it kind of thing. But when you pick it up like this, it's kind of like drippings, which makes about perfect gravy. We're going to add on to this actually still. So you're going to grab your Worcestershire sauce. If you don't have this, I'm not sure what you could add to substitute. Maybe ketchup. It's kind of similar, different consistency. It might be good that way. I don't know. Okay, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Lovely. Alright, we're going to get rid of our teaspoon over here. And our sauce over here. And we're going to use our whisk, and we're just going to whisk that in. This kind of makes me think of Swedish meatballs. The gravy you make for that. Okay, now that's done. We're going to set all of this aside. And time for the pie time, right? Okay, so you want your standard pie plate here. I think it's 2 quarts. We're going to set this aside for now because we don't need it right away. I'm just going to put it right there. And I made a double crust pastry. The recipe I am reading as for single crust, but I kind of like having the chicken pot pie I made. It would have been much better if it had a bottom crust, so I'm going to do it with this one too. So we're going to go, I already made it, my hands are clean. I'm going to go ahead and break this in half. It's been sitting while I've been cooking, so it's not too runny anymore. We're just going to knead it, nice little balls. Alright, we got 2 balls about the same size. Ooh, that was loud. Okay, now we need to add our flour. Why am I never prepared? Why do I do this one? I need a spoon. I'll be right back. Spoon! Okay, you're going to take your all-purpose flour. And you're going to sprinkle the table with it. Like this. Actually, I'm going to move the camera down so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. Couple spoonfuls here. Set this aside. And grab one of your dough balls here. Press it down. Flip it over. Press it down again. Make sure it's nice and dry to the touch. And then roll it out. pretty good. I've actually seen some videos where they cut it before they put it in, but I think that's a bit risky. You don't know what size you need. Why would you cut it ahead of time? They probably take their pan and they cut around. I know a better trick. Okay. Take your rolling pin up, pan down, dough down, adjust. Alright, just kind of tuck it in the edges here. Now something I have seen people do that I'm also going to do is they poke holes in the bottom. I again forgot my fork. Awesome. Well, I'm going to be adding the stuff that the whisk is in anyway, so I'm just going to press it. It makes little, kind of like bird feet hatchings here. Kind of cool. Maybe I'll use that for the edges. That'll be cool. Let's set that aside. Okay, you got that in here. You're going to add your meat. Just like that. Add your veggies. Go ahead and just use whatever tool you have on hand. Fruit, veggies, it's fruit. It's savory mealtime fruit, right? Other side, and now we're going to add gravy. Spread it around over the top. That looks really good. I would almost eat this now, except I kind of want to eat the finished product. It'd be better that way. Okay, we're going to set this aside. And add a little bit more flour to our table. Push in the flour that's pushed out to the edges here, to the center. Grab your spoon. Sprinkle a bit more on. Alright, you shouldn't need that spoon anymore, and you shouldn't need the flour anymore. My hands are slippery, guys! Alright, take your other pastry ball. Push it down. Nice and dry. And start pushing it out, and then roll it out. It fell out! This table is so crowded. I actually have a fairly big table. It's just we're all on one end. Okay, if you were making your own pie crust, this was 3/4 cup salt, 2 1/4 cup flour, 10 tablespoons of water, and 10 2/3 tablespoons of butter. Mix it all together, split in half. You get the gist. Okay. I've used the recipe for this before in previous videos. Slide that baby over. And, oh, that's so nice when it does that. So pretty, so nice. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do our markings around the edge. And like I said, this made kind of a cool pattern. So I'm going to give this a shot to press down maybe more. Okay, sometimes it breaks it, but could be worse. Cool. I forgot a butter knife. I'll be back. Okay, take your butter knife, go around the edges, and just cut off the excess. Poke a hole in the middle. There you go, guys. You've got your pie ready to go. So now what you're going to do is you're going to preheat your oven. If you haven't done this already, do it now. We have a few hours till dinner, so this is just going to go in the fridge for a bit, and then I'll cook it later. But it's 450, and you're going to bake this baby for 25 to 30 minutes and serve it hot. So there you go. There's your shepherd's pie. Your recipe today is brought to you by the unofficial Downton Abbey cookbook. Turn it this way. It's kind of bright this way. It's just bright in the house today. What's up with that? So this is the cookbook we're using. I used the shepherd's pie recipe out of here. Obviously I didn't follow the directions entirely because I'm not known to do that. But if you want, you can get this to the library. It's a pretty cool book. I have a few copies of the unofficials. They're pretty fun. So I hope you guys enjoy your pie. I hope Gwen was entertained. Were you entertained?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We got her approval, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye!